Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. All right, so we got the Joseph Parker-Fabio Wardley fight coming up this weekend. Joseph Parker is the favorite, I think anyway, with the bookies. But it's normally the case that the closer we get to a fight, the shorter the odds get, because the more people are anticipating an upset. They start analyzing the fight and thinking about the weaknesses of the favorite and the strengths of the underdog. Sometimes people can overthink it. Now look, I've picked against Fabio Wardley a couple of times in the past and he proved me wrong. He might prove me wrong again here against Joseph Parker. There was a member of my Element group, Devon, who is adamant that Fabio Wardley is going to win this fight with Parker and he's going to do so by knockout. He's baffled that there are people who think this is a surefire win for Joseph Parker, who think it's going to be pretty much a walk in the park for him. Well, I have to say, I'm one of those people. Ever since this fight got made, my thoughts all along have been Parker's going to breeze this fight. Now, I know, and I've said this many times in the past, that Parker isn't the best when it comes to surviving a dogfight. Normally when he gets dragged into the trenches, he comes off second best. He got dragged into the trenches by Dylan White, came off second best there. Dragged into the trenches by Joe Joyce, came off second best there. But after watching Fabio Wardley against Justice Hooney, I'm skeptical about whether Wardley has the know-how to drag a more experienced version of Joseph Parker into the trenches. I think Parker is the far superior boxer to Wardley. His technique is better. He throws straighter shots. He's obviously more experienced. I think he's got a better jab. I think his all-round technique is better. His stance, the way he positions his hands, everything. And of course, he's beaten the better opposition than Fabio Wardley has. So I see this being quite a similar fight to the Hooney fight, with Joseph Parker dominating things with the jab, going upstairs and downstairs with it, maybe reopening that cut that Fabio Wardley always gets on his nose bridge. And if he doesn't stop Wardley, I see him winning a comfortable decision. Yes, Fabio Wardley can punch, and I'm sure if he caught Joseph Parker with the right shot, he could hurt him, he could drop him, he could knock him down, maybe knock him out. So I'm not counting Fabio Wardley out completely. He's got that proverbial puncher's chance. But predictions are based on probabilities. And in my head anyway, the probability of Fabio Wardley landing that home run shot on Joseph Parker is low. It's not impossible. There's a chance, yes. But I think it's far more likely that Joseph Parker totally outclasses Fabio Wardley. And like I say, either stops him late, maybe because of facial injuries, or wins a comfortable points decision. I'm sure Wardley's going to swing that big right hand over. He's going to try go into Super Saiyan mode. But his technique when he's unloading is very sloppy. Yeah, it worked against Frazer Clark. Frazer Clark doesn't have the slickness, the know-how, or the toughness of Joseph Parker, nor the experience as a pro to be able to survive moments like that. I think Joseph Parker's going to win this fight comfortably. And of course, there are many other people who think the same, and they're wondering why Fabio Wardley is taking this fight. Well, personally, I understand why he's taking the fight, because what else is he going to do? Usyk hasn't vacated any of the belts yet, so if Wardley wanted to push for a title shot right now, he'd be fighting Usyk. How well do you reckon he'd do in that fight? He's got a better chance against Joseph Parker than he has against Usyk. I don't know what the purse split is here with Parker and Wardley, but it's conceivable that Wardley might actually get a bit more money fighting Joseph Parker than he would get fighting Alexander Usyk. I'm not saying that necessarily would be the case, but it's conceivable. But he probably ain't going to get a shot against Usyk anytime soon anyway. So this fight here against Joseph Parker is a big fight for him. I'm sure the biggest payday of his career so far. He'd lose in most people's minds if he fought Usyk. Better chance against Parker. Nice payday. Why not? And it makes sense for Joseph Parker as well because he's also in a holding pattern, waiting for that Usyk fight. And I know he and his team are professionals and they're taking Fabio Wardley very seriously, but deep down, I suspect they see this fight in a similar way to myself. They think that Joseph Parker has at least the capabilities to make this a very comfortable victory for himself. So it makes sense in their minds too, and certainly in my mind, for Joseph Parker to take this fight. Rather than sitting on the shelf, gathering rust, get out there against Fabio Wardley, who's coming off a spectacular KO victory in a fight he was losing. Beat that guy, take his unbeaten record. Do you know what I mean? And that will actually put more pressure on Usyk to face Joseph Parker. So it makes total sense to me for both guys. But yeah, I see Joseph Parker winning this fight, being far better technically than Wardley. And Wardley is going to try, he is going to swing. But I think Parker has the know-how to negate Wardley's relatively crude attacks. Maybe counter him in those moments, because nobody's really punished Wardley for his Super Saiyan mode yet, you know, where he just starts opening up and he doesn't appear to care about what's coming back. No one's successfully punished him for that yet. Joseph Parker may well be the first guy to do so. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Leave me yours in the comment section below. I'll be very interested to know your views. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.